What is going on, guys? What is going on, guys? Today we're going to be getting ready for the week trading futures. All right, going to be going over dollar, Nasdaq, gold, bonds, and of course we're going to go ahead and check the economic calendar. All right, so tap in and let's get started. All right, today's date is Sunday, April 28th, 2024. Um, we've had a pretty good string over the past few weeks. Definitely grateful. If you're not familiar, and let me see, if you're not familiar, all right, if you're not familiar, you can tap in with our our market outlooks from the past. I did a few of them as live videos. And then the most recent one from last week I did, same as this one, it was recorded. But we've been on a string, of course, continuing to expect bullishness on the dollar. But of course, as always, we're going to start off first looking at the economic calendar, see what we got coming up this week. Now, keep in mind, as we talk about every month, right, we're at the end of a month right now, okay? It's April 28th. That means this week we're going to be having the last days of April and the first days of May. All right, so that means two things. First, that means that, it's the end of the month. Typically, we expect some sort of retracement on the expected price action for the month. As well as going into the new month, we expect some sort of manipulation against our overall expectation. Okay, some weird stuff before we actually see the big move. Okay, and the last thing that we know going into the first week of a new month is we will be having non-farm payroll. All right, so looking at our economic calendar, we can see that Monday we just have some Chinese, 9:30 p.m. PMI for the Chinese. Now, the reason I have the Chinese on my investing calendar is because, sometimes it can show hints as to when we'll see movement with gold, and we trade NASDAQ and gold. Tuesday, we know we have a high impact news release from 9:45 and 10 a.m. So probably not until that London kill zone we'll get the biggest move, or the most manipulative. We'll see, but we use that kind of to anticipate things. Then we have the first day of May on Wednesday. And that's going to be a heavy hitting day. Multiple news releases. I mean, we have 8:50, 9:45, 10 a.m., 10 a.m., 10 a.m. I mean, that's over 5 high impact news releases in the same day, as well as FOMC. I did not notice that, right? As well as FOMC here on Wednesday. Yeah, we're not going to want to mess with that. Or we're going to want to wait till after that clears to really get active with our trades. Now on Thursday, we have initial jobless claims, 8:30 a.m. And then Friday, of course, like I said, unemployment numbers and non-farm payroll here at 8:30, as well as 9:45 and a 10 a.m. news release. Man, when we have this many news releases today, this is going to be a very, very big week as far as manipulation and movement goes in the market. We have FOMC in the same week, NFP in the same week, and on both of those days, we have a lot of high impact news events. So you're going to want to be careful. All right, it's going to be a minefield this week, and a lot of people are going to blow their accounts. Just to be honest with you, I know that I've had a very good couple weeks, and I know a few people who've also had a good couple weeks. And this is that time where the market, if it's been giving, this is the time where it tends to take. All right, so definitely will be very cautious going into this week. I have an account due for a 5-figure withdrawal with my funded futures, and I'm not able to withdraw until my 14th day trading. So I'm going to be waiting for that. So yeah, here as you can see, this is that evaluation that we talked about last week. I mean, not evaluation. This is that live account we talked about last week with my funded futures. Had a pretty good week. I mean, these are my 2 best trading days all time. I think before this, my highest trading day was 3,200. So did 4,200 on Tuesday, and did 7,000 on Wednesday, and then finished off 2,700 on Friday. So with those 3 trading days, was able to secure 13K. But 10K is above the buffer, so I'm gonna hold, and I'm gonna take out that 10K. We're not gonna be putting that to risk this week, because again, this is one of those weeks where things can go very, very wrong very quickly. So I'm just gonna start a new evaluation this week and see if we can get a second funded account, and I'm gonna wait to go ahead and process that withdrawal till Friday. And I recommend, anybody in similar situations or whatever the case is, just move with caution this week. Be careful. All right. But just looking at this economic calendar, we'll see what we can get fishing tomorrow because we have that FOMC on Friday. So if we can get out of the way Monday and Tuesday and just avoid Wednesday, then that would be great. Or just tape read, just watch on Wednesday. That would be great. But we'll see what's going on, right? It depending how they position, maybe we could take advantage following that FOMC release. So yeah, we want to kind of give them room to go ahead and play. All right, now let's go ahead and hit the charts. And starting off, of course, with DXY. Now, we talked about this last week. Told you guys that I saw this weekly imbalance here on DXY from the high of this candle to the low of this candle. You have this gap in between. I told you I was expecting to see price dig into that and then, expand from there to the highs of last year, right? We have some double tops, highs of last year is very close, low liquidity, low resistance liquidity run, right? Just go ahead and get that out of there. So that's what we were expecting last week. We did get a rejection in there, but just a really small pin candle, right? Nothing beautiful. Now looking at that on a daily time frame, seeing DXY expand from taking those lows, right? So we did take those lows here on DXY. And we took them early in the week, right? Took it on Wednesday, traded below there again, took it on Tuesday, traded there again Wednesday, traded there again Thursday, and then Friday we finally got an expansion out of there, leaving this last down candle before the trade higher, which is a key level for us, right? So that's our order block there. We're gonna not want to see price really want to go back below here, all right? Ideally, we're gonna just want to see price tap that, if anything, and then continue rapidly to this high. So those are my thoughts. We've already seen them go ahead and make that run on the lows of not last week, but the week before. And literally, I had this drawn on here since last week, guys. Like literally, you see, they went ahead and took out those lows. We started to get that higher high price action, and now here we've actually gotten that higher high. So yeah, we want to see them go ahead and do something along the lines of, like I pointed out, getting back to this daily order block, right? And in that same area here, we have a 4-hour imbalance similar to what we were looking for on the weekly. And seeing as how we already dug into that, yeah, I mean, we should see this happen very quickly. All right. So going into London session tonight, even New York session, we'll be aware of the fact that we could get a very quick bounce here on DXY, just taking us to the upside. But I really don't see a reason to expect for price to come back down there. But again, it's going to be a very interesting week, a lot of high impact news. So, I mean, anything, I wouldn't be surprised to see some heavy manipulation in the markets, basically. Okay. But yeah, I want to see them go ahead and make that run, or make that run on last week's highs. Now, and taking into account, we are inside this here monthly fair value gap at a premium, so it can get funky, right? It definitely can get funky, especially once we go ahead and take these highs here from 2023. So that's really, for right now, the main target that I want to see. And then from there, we can get down to seeing some more. But that's pretty much my thoughts here on bullish dollar this week. And seeing them go ahead and take out these highs. Now, if this is going to happen on Monday or Tuesday, that'll be really interesting going into the rest of the week, with knowing that we have FOMC, knowing that we have NFP. That might change some things. But for right now, let's just hunt and pay attention to these highs here for 2023. First and foremost, right? Now, that means that using bonds, as always, bonds is treasury bonds, all right? So these give us an idea of where the government is, how the government is looking to participate with their money right now, as far as whether being cash on with their investments or preferring not to. But either way, the idea is the bonds market should go the opposite direction of the dollar, all right? And the same direction as indices. Now, looking at the bonds market, we talked about this as always, right? Monthly, just getting lower and lower. This week we're about to have a monthly candle close, and that monthly candle looks like it's about to close, very bearish. I mean, you just look at the monthly time frame here, right? and you see this last, run up here, and price has, done a little bit of a pullback, but not quite, selling off yet. Not selling off, pulling back up to the highs yet. But we have this gap here that we were targeting. And I am interested to see how the month finishes, right? If the month finishes closing below here or even below the halfway point, that could be a sign that they actually do want to go ahead and just take it down to these lows of 2023. Right. So if that's what we see happen, then that's what I'll be expecting. On the weekly time frame here on the bonds market, we had this last down candle before price went up, took out these highs. So clearly we already saw price get down below there, close below there. And then last week they did go ahead and make their way back up into it and then reject away. So that's important information for us to pay attention to. And then here on the daily, I think it's that same area here on the daily. Yeah, same area here on the daily, like we said. And then just knowing that this is where April started. It's been interesting indeed. But as far as the objective, the next objective, yes, clearly it would be interesting to see if they want to get all the way down here. All right, I'll put a money bag down there. But the next objective for right now would be the gap right below that we're at here on the weekly. All right, that would be the next objective that I would see that they probably will have in mind. All right, also got just very equal lows here. So yeah, that's sell side that I'm interested in seeing them go ahead and trade down to there. All right, so that's the idea here on bonds, which aligns with what we're talking about here on dollar. That's all that really matters. We just want to see that this aligns with dollar, because typically when they don't align, the markets are going to be, trash, right? So it's good to get an idea in advance for how aligned they are. And before running up and taking these highs, here was our last down candle. So currently the market is at a very key level to just go ahead and drop from, like literally just go ahead and drop from. So, we'll be expecting that going here into this London session and going into New York. I won't be trading London tonight. But we'll keep that in mind when we show up tomorrow to make some decisions on the charts. All right, but that thing looks ready. That thing looks ready, guys. All right. Now the lady of the hour, right? NASDAQ. We talked about it last week, expecting to see NASDAQ want to come back and take these lows. Those highs. All right. The price action of the week before, was right here. Okay, we saw price sell off, and so just looking at this high to low, wanted to see price get back up into a premium of that price range, and we can look at the entire range of April. If we really want to, we can look at this entire range here of April. All right, from the high of April to the low of April, and just knowing we wanted to see price come up into a premium for us to sell from, and that would be this, not last Tuesday, but the Tuesday before. This was the high of that Tuesday. All right, so I do want to see price get up above there, and once we get above there, that's where I'm expecting to see some fast price action to the downside, and we'll see what's going on. Yeah, we'll see what's going on with those expectations. This being last Monday here. Boom. And then the Monday here that we're at right now. So, yeah, that's my thoughts. Seeing them kind of get up into here, and then once we get up there, looking for that price action to go ahead and give us an opportunity to the downside. it just looks it looks a little too obvious, you know. But don't want to be that guy. Now here on the daily, here in March, you can see this was that last run higher here where we got all-time highs before price sold off. So I do consider this last down candle before those false trades higher to be a key level right here. And there's so conveniently just above the highs that we're looking at to see price. So we're going to want to pay attention to that. And this is on the daily. So we're going to put a daily breaker. All right. And then clearly here on the daily, we also have a fair value gap right here. So yeah, we want to see something get popping right there for sure. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Definitely want to see bearish NASDAQ this week, especially off of that level. Like look at all this imbalance here, just gaps. Yeah, we want to see some action. Finally got lower lows here on the daily time frame, and now they're trading up back into premium. We want to get in position for some, you know, good old selling opportunity that we can take advantage of, for sure. So yeah, those are my thoughts there when it comes to dollar, bonds, NASDAQ. That's what I'm looking for. I would get into gold, but don't want to get into gold. You know, gold's been extremely bullish. We're coming from all-time highs, just like everything else. Finally here, we finally got, you know, a breakdown lower, right? Especially if you look at the 4 hour, finally got a break of structure here on the 4 hour. And on the daily, you know, left this here, fair value gap. Okay. Got the low of this candle, high of this candle, got an imbalance here. And we saw price run up into their Thursday, run up into their Friday, took those highs. And now we're seeing a bit of expansionary price action lower. So just looking at this 4 hour, right? This was that last down candle before we saw that run up here a few weeks ago. So I see this as a key level. Probably expect one more time just to see price run up. I can see them running up, taking this high, and then going ahead and giving us that price action really to see this go ahead and break down lower. But I can be completely and totally wrong, right? Again, we're very, very, very bullish overall on gold. So, you know, betting against it, and it's not bet for everybody. So, like I said, for right now, not really moving the fastest on gold, but NASDAQ, definitely feel how I feel about NASDAQ. Even silver here showing a little bit of a crack in structure. So starting to see those breaks in structure here on silver, which I use silver to kind of give me a little bit of indications on gold. So those are my thoughts for the week. Of course, going to be trading live Tuesday through Thursday, 9 a.m. inside the server. If you need access, you know, you can just leave a comment or, you know, check the link in our description. But yeah, man, I'm excited for this week, excited for all the growth we're seeing in the server. And, you know, with the team, got multiple people starting to get funded. Myself, you know, able to get a great withdrawal here. And I've only been trading futures for less than 3 months now, right? Since February. So yeah, this is going great. And those are our expectations here. So we're going to go ahead and call it a wrap there. Go ahead and get this posted. And yeah, see you guys. The futures, Back to the Futures Edition course will be coming soon. So, you know, I'm working on that. Just got a couple more videos to finish, but I'm really excited to go ahead and help some people out getting over from that, making that transition from Forex, from options over to futures, as well as people just looking to get into trading in general. You feel me? So, yeah, man. See you guys on the flip side. And for those of you guys in the server, see you Tuesday morning, 9:15 a.m. for the live session. And if you're not, you know where to find us. All right.